Everybody put things in the committee, telling them to go there. Asking them to go in.
There's exit out of this, right? Exit out of the YouTube window, right?
We don't even know. Don't know what we need. We don't need it.
I think I guess. Those were live stream, okay. I was check. Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay, we're going. Okay, call the meeting to order. Thank you for coming. Mr. Sanders, do we have a quorum?
We do have a quorum. Motion to approve the minutes of April 24th.
Any second?
No second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Unanimous. Okay, you don't have it? Compliance committee hearings. I think it's time for you to go to your office.
That's, yes, thank you, Steve. Yes, the compliance committee can come with me and any homeowners that are here to address the crimes, please join me, otherwise,
Thank you. Okay, members speaking. Jill Sanders, come on up. Wherever you're comfortable, wherever you're comfortable.
Well, thank you for letting me have this opportunity to speak to the board. I'm here specifically in regards today to the proposal that's on the agenda regarding the Oaks tennis membership. And I would like to urge all of the board members today to seriously consider voting no on this proposal. I think it's the wrong proposal. I think it's a bad idea, specifically for the homeowners, but also for the tennis club. Reasons behind that are that there are currently paying dues, Oaks dues members, and going down this road, whether it's for just a trial period or if this becomes a full-time thing, a permanent situation, we are losing revenue. And there's also additional administration and potentially additional court maintenance that's going to need to take place that is going to increase the costs. So when you look at the homeowners, if they're having a decrease in revenue plus additional costs for the tennis club, this is less profitable. And the tennis club was specifically uncoupled from the homeowners association many years ago because the majority of Sterling Oaks homeowners did not want to have responsibility for maintaining and taking care of the tennis club. So, and for at least the last 10 years, as I recall some of the figures that have been thrown around in the past year or so, the previous director of tennis, Paul Barris, ran this tennis club at a profit, and those profits went back into the general fund every single year. And if you start chipping away at that and devaluing the membership, the tennis club membership, you run the risk of all of a sudden the homeowners are maybe going to have free tennis in the afternoons, but their homeowners association fees are going to have to go up because they're going to have to cover the costs of less revenue and more costs. So for the homeowners, I think this is a really bad idea. I think the number of people that this affects, whether it's current Oaks members or potential people who might want to play tennis, is extremely small, a negligible number. The vast majority of people that live here in Sterling Oaks don't want to play tennis. And well, I think that's a bad idea. I think they should all be out there playing tennis. I think we need to respect that. And we're not going to worry about less than a handful of people for something that it's a solution in search of a problem is my opinion. And then again, in regards to the tennis club, I think when you take something that has value, our tennis club has value. It's known around, and we've all said this for years, that the Sterling Oaks Tennis Club is one of the most well-respected clubs in Collier County and Southwest Florida. And all of a sudden to start devaluing it by saying people can play for free, I think is a bad idea. If you looked at tennis clubs around the country, I don't think you'd find any of them that said, sure, you don't have to be a member, just come and play at our club for free. It just doesn't work that way. That's not how a club belongs. So again, I urge you in full respect for all of the tennis club members and all of the homeowners to vote no on this proposal today. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Secretary's report. Mr. Mulligan, can you hear us?
No, he already
Oh,
did
where
that.
am I? I
Already
mean,
did that.
You're up,
You're-
President.
you're-
awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Mulligan. Again, I just have a few brief comments. I just want to review for everybody that my goals here are to have our homeowners continue to be our priority and and have true transparency. Later on in the agenda, I'll give you an update on our GM search. I also want to remind all board members that committee liaisons are non-voting members of committees, and your job is to report back to the board on what goes on at the committee and bring their ideas to us. Strategic plan update, I don't know if you are ready to talk loose or not. Do you want to bring that up at all? Do you have anything to comment on the strategic plan? You had a chance to look at that?
No, nothing at this time.
Okay, we're looking at that and looking to update our strategic plan for 2025. Unfortunately, we've been very busy with interviews and other things right now. But at a future meeting, we're going to talk more about updating the strategic plan. And again, I want to thank all of our volunteers, our committee members, our board members for all of the time and effort that you put in for free. Okay, general manager's report. Mark, are you ready?
I'm ready. Alrighty. All of you have this except for the ones in the audience and of course the people out there in YouTube land that'll get to see this once it's posted. Season's pretty much come to a close. We can all see that. Traffic has slowed down finally and the heat is on. The staff is now starting to prepare the summer project list, and I'll detail some of those later in the report. Wildcat Lake Shoreline Rock has been completed, as well as some of the leftovers placed in the outfall area at the Condominium Preserve Marsh. Outfall is in the northeast corner by building 1290. That is going to help with any kind of erosion in that area when we do someday get some water that's well needed. Court 1 repairs. I've been in touch with Ritzman. We've had all the estimates received. We've actually received monies from the insurance company for the court repairs and the landscaping replacements. So as soon as I can get those Ritzman in here to get that done, I will. I was waiting on a date today from Carlos. He just hasn't gotten back to me today. Pickleball sign that was run over as well is going to be replaced, and that's in the works as well. Downstairs, and the multi-purpose door on the outside that everybody used to have to either prop open or you could go out but not in. I put in a access control so that you can use your card there and come directly in from outside by the water and ice machine. You don't have to go through the locker rooms anymore, especially like day. If since it was maybe closed at 12:30 for cleaning, you could always walk in and come into that, and it's open the same hours as the fitness area, 4 a.m. to 10 p.m. So we have full access for the multi-purpose room at this time. The seal coating company, we're still waiting on a schedule to get that project started. CC's working with Philip from Atlantic Southern. We also know that Eagle Cove 1, the blue buildings are going to be doing paver installation, tearing out their concrete driveways and putting in pavers. So we don't want to be down there trying to seal coat while that's going on. So we're going to try to work and make sure that that's taken care of. We'll seal coat after they're finished. You've seen all the post and panel signs, which are the green with the white lettering. All of those have been repainted electrostatically with all white reflective lettering. So when you come in at night, and your lights shine, especially the one down at the bottom of the hill, you can see quite well, and that goes for all of the other signs that are of that nature. They've all been redone. Dry season is here, you know that, and start doing the rain dance, and we're gonna see if we can get some rainfall. They say maybe this afternoon starting, maybe this weekend we'll get some more. As soon as that's gonna come down, it'll be a blessing for us all. The levels are low, but anecdotally, because of the underground limestone layer that exists in Southwest Florida, the rains that have been fairly consistent up by Lake Okeechobee, that water goes south, and it flows south through the Everglades, but it also flows south towards us. So some of that water has reached us in our aquifers to be able to maintain some of those lake levels, even at a low level. We have seen some of that arriving, so that's helping us out a little bit. Reciprocals, we're reciprocals with a lot of clubs this summer. The Dunes is they're doing a lot of renovation, especially in their tennis courts. So working with Mike over there, who's the GM, we've opened up full reciprocals with at no cost for their members to play here, and we can utilize their fitness, pool, and dining areas at no cost as well. And that'll continue as long as they're under construction. And that's kind of a nice perk for our members to be able to utilize the Dunes. It's quite nice over there. Just make sure that you check on the FYI that comes out on Fridays, or you can go onto the website of the app, hit the reciprocal list, and everything's there. Just please make your reservations and if you want to play golf or you want to go dining, that you do that through the app, through us, and through our administration, so that we can make sure. A lot of these clubs are closed on Mondays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays, depending on where they are, and they want to make sure that you have the right day to be able to get in there. So some of the projects that I know that Zach and everybody's going to be working on is the boardwalk. They are going to be replacing all the boards. They've contacted Naples Decks and Docks for some treks and for the heavy duty decking that's necessary for repairs there. Sidewalks are still in the mix. We're just waiting for Ron Martin to get something together to put in, come in here, rip them out and put in the new stuff. The valley curbs, we've got about 4 areas within the community they're going to do this year. And that's where on the sides of the street, those valley curbs that are on the edge of the road, they hold water. And what we try to do is get them away from people's driveways so that the ASC doesn't keep going after their driveways for being dirty, because they keep going through a muddy puddle to get into their driveway. So we're trying to work on that. The pool, shades, lounges, and umbrellas that were ordered last year, they're at the company warehouse now, and they should be delivered probably next week. We're probably going to hold most of those umbrellas in abeyance until next year. We'll replace anything that's broken, but you'll see more of the white chairs around the exterior of the pool, so that things start to blend in and be all the same down there. And we're going to be doing some cleanup and repairs and painting in here. You'll see in several areas, especially downstairs in the fitness and in the bar and some other areas where the interior painting needs to be taken care of. So the Zach's crew will be doing that. And they are working currently on replacing the lights in the fitness center with all LED loop lights. They had to get new clips to hold them in, and that's all being done. So downstairs will look pretty nice. And I know that Cezanne's working on the flooring as well. So once it all gets done, the fitness center should look pretty sweet once it's taken care of this summer. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Mark, especially that reciprocal with the Zooms. I think that's a wonderful thing you guys put together. Appreciate it. Treasurer report from Mr. Mulligan.
All right. Our operating cash is $670,000. Our total cash is $1.5 million. In the month of April, we had net income of $43,000 versus a budget of negative $13,000 for a favorable variance of $56,000. Tennis had a favorable variance of budget of $18,000 for the month. The year-to-date favorable variance to budget is $28,000, a net income of $69,000. Part of this is timing, and part of this is due to being down a person in the pro shop. There's $5,000 of expenditures coming from reserves and long-term capital for the month, and $20,000 for the year. Social had an unfavorable variance to budget for the month of $3,000 and has a year-to-date unfavorable variance to budget of $35,000. As I mentioned last month, this is concerning. Part of it is timing, part of it was the weather, and part was just lower participation than we expected. That's a concerning part. We're working with Nicole and Mark in the activities committee regarding this. John Irish will touch on this a little bit later. I know that every event will not make money or even break even, and you try as many different things as possible to include as many people as possible. We just have to try to balance this as best we can. Common Areas had a favorable variance for the month of $17,000 and has a year-to-date favorable variance of $53,000. We believe that the majority of this is timing, the biggest of which is landscape replacement, which is behind due to the drought. Gene A had a favorable variance to budget for the month of $23,000 and has a year-to-date favorable variance to budget of $14,000. This is made up of several accounts. The two major variances are capital contribution, home resales, which is $33,000 favorable, and legal expenses, which is $25,000 unfavorable. I believe that the favorable variance for home sales will come down a little, unfortunately, but the legal expenses will remain unfavorable. The year-to-date net income as of 4/30/25 is $103,000 versus a budget of $55,000 for a favorable variance of $48,000. That's it. Any questions?
Any questions for John? Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Someone said that?
He said you're welcome.
Oh, okay. Committee project team reports, architectural standards. Rick?
I have one violation here. Says that has been sent at least 2 violation notices. Motion to impose a fine of $100 per day for each outstanding violation for up to 10 days. Additionally, contract the association to address and correct these violations, effective as of the date of the compliance hearing, which is tentatively scheduled for June 26th, the next board meeting. 1093 Silver Stand Drive, Walls, House needs painting. Motion to approve that one.
Second,
Lindy, yes.
Second.
John. Got it?
Yep.
Any discussion or questions for Rick?
Have they contacted anybody from their committee about this? The homeowner?
They gave us a timeline that they were gonna get estimates, and we had plenty of time to do it, if not responded. Supposed to respond back to them. Completed by the response, they were notified. The last, repeatedly up until May 5th was the last one. The email that I got. But they haven't done it yet.
So I went by the property to take a look at it, and I see a little bit of stain on the front of the house. That's all I saw. And they're calling for the whole house to be cleaned.
No. That's just the general category, house is being,
Okay,
just the portion.
so they really need
Yeah.
to address.
Just that, yeah, not the lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, under, it's sort of the umbrella of house needs paint, but not the.
necessarily the whole house.
Okay.
Any other questions for Rick?
When you send the notice to them, does it say specifically that just that area? Or does it say the whole thing?
It would just say specifically, it'd say walls.
Yeah.
I
I'm wondering about that.
I'm gonna contradict what Rick said. This entire house needs to be painted for the ASC. When they look at the 3 walls and what they can see from Sterling Oaks Drive headed into Wildcat Cove, they believe that the entire property needs to be painted. As the homeowners have come back and said that they did clean the house, which by the stains that are still there, I don't think pressure cleaning satisfied it at all. So if they did clean the house, then that's why they're coming back and saying, well, if you cleaned, it didn't bring your property in compliance, it now needs to be painted.
It's Manatee.
This is in Manatee, yes.
Has it been painted in the last 10 years? Do we know
No,
that?
we've been in contact with them stating if it has been painted within the last 10 years, they could provide us with the receipt for the ASC to review, and they don't have such.
Okay. Any other questions?
Can I ask question?
Mhm.
Why are they responsible for proving to you that they had it painted in the last 10 years?
How else would we know that information?
Well, you know, I understand that there's a 10-year rule for painting the house. I don't agree with it, because if the paint on a house looks perfectly fine.
Then you'll never get a violation for it to be painted.
It would never raise it,
It would-
because we don't track the 10 years on every
No.
400.
So like if your house hasn't been painted in 15 years, but it still looks perfect, that's
Okay.
great. You're never gonna get a violation notice.
Thank you.
But if your house hasn't been painted and it did get cited, but it was painted 5 years ago, then provide us with the receipt and we'll do our research. Does that help? Okay,
10-year help. Anyone else?
yeah.
No,
All in
but,
favor of Rick's motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I oppose.
Steve, when people are talking at the tables, can you move the mic around? Cause we could hardly hear them.
We don't have a quorum.
That one
This
is
is
the
the-
little
You
mic.
got a wired one. We'll try, John.
All right, thank you.
Okay, landscaping, also Lindy asked me to put another agenda item on, and I just wanted to give her time to talk about, rental car barcode. She wanted to bring something to our attention. I don't know if you want to do it or after, before or after landscaping, but when you have the mic, you can do both.
Okay, I'll do it first.
Go ahead.
Thank you. At our last chat session, Miss Kathleen Neary came and she raised a problem that a couple of other people agreed with at the chat. This is Kathleen Neary, Sweetwater Cove 1. I spoke during your chat session regarding access to the front gate with a rental car. As I stated, I have owned my condo for 20 years and have never rented it. I always have a rental car when I come, and over Easter, I was unable to get a pass. I was told my registered guests could have a pass for a week, but I, as an owner, could not. I did speak to Mark West and had him call down to the gate. Renters, guests have easier access than I have as an owner with a rental car. I am asking for equal treatment. Thank you, Kathleen Mann.
Thank you. Now, Mark, she can get a barcode for that rental car. She has to do what? Pay, what is it, $20?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this under members speaking. Who is this?
Kathleen Neary.
Neary,
Any,
1305 Sweetwater.
So she can get a barcode, but
She doesn't wanna pay the
she doesn't
$20.
want to pay the $20.
Because she comes back and forth and brings a different rental car every time. So would have to pay $20 every time she comes.
So what does she do now? Go to the guard and show them her ID? Is that what she does?
The
Yep.
first time, everybody does that the first time, even a guest. The first time they enter the property. But after that, the guest or your relative that's on your permanent list, all they do, at that time, they give them a pass. And
With
they
the
put it in
barcode
the
on.
front and it gives the date, says it's good for it. And so when they go by, they just hold up the pass. But she has to get out her license every time
yes,
and show it, which it is not fair. Either don't give anybody a pass or give an owner a pass. I mean,
I
come
think
on.
there's a way for, the system to print an owner's pass, but she still has to verify she is who she is.
When she comes the first time,
Well, how would I know who she is if I was working the gate,
because don't you have an owner's list?
but it doesn't have their picture on it?
So what happened in the past, and the reason why we stopped the hanging passes, why we stopped all the other giveaway passes is because that's when people started handing them out to people and saying, here, just use this to come on in to the club and you can get in, don't worry about it. And and they were waving them through. Now, the pass that your guest gets or your family member gets is only a 2-day pass. It's not for the month that they're here or 2 months or 3 months or if they're here renting, if they're renting, they get a barcode because they're here all the time. So,
But they're on the list. They can look up and see who's on your guest list.
But they can't see their picture. So like Maria might scan the driver's license and take her the first time, but George might be there in the afternoon. He needs to verify she is who she is.
But if she has her pass that has her name and she tied to her rental car.
But we don't know her. Like, we don't know her face. So we have to verify that person is who they claim to be with the pass.
How about the guests? Does
Same
she
thing.
know them every time?
Yes, they do that every time.
No, they don't. When they come in, they just hold up the pass.
Nope. They-
We're not
that's-
supposed to, but if she
because-
knows them.
Because there's a picture on the pass. And
There's-
they look at it and it also says Toyota Corolla. And they verify who's on the pass, what the car is, and then they click it so
So
that
why
they make sure.
can't-
We can give them a pass, but for the 2-day pass is what we print them for. We don't print them for a long period of time. If you want everybody to have a 10-day pass or a month pass for that, then what happens then is you just you leave the pass on the counter. So here we have one person. We have, I don't know how many people that have rental cars, especially during season, that come down and everything else like that. For the $20 to be able to get in the back gate, to be able to come in out of the property, for the time that they're here, be able to go back up north to their other home, come back down, and then go back up and come back down, and be able to have that availability, seems like a small price to pay to have that rather than going through the guard gate and saying, hi, it's me again. Can I, I'm a homeowner, that's fine, let me see your driver's license. It sounds like Kathleen wants a free pass to be able to get in and out of the gate. So you shouldn't have one either, and neither should you, or you should be able to come through the gate and go, I'm a resident, I don't want a barcode, I should be able to get through this gate anytime I want.
So Lydia, what's your
Without
recommendation?
doing it.
Excuse me, finish it, Jennifer. What's your recommendation?
My recommendation is that Mark is saying it's a 4-day pass, but my kids.
2 days.
2 days.
Or 2-day pass. But my kids are here longer than that, and their pass was good. They didn't have to renew it. And secondly, if they come on Saturday with a rental car, they can't get a barcode here. So what do they do then?
Actually, they let us know ahead of time. If a lot of people let us know what's going on, and because the food and beverage operation is open and Nikki's here, and we've already got the information, put it into the system, we leave it on the counter and it says Susan Johnson, and it's, white CRV, and they come in and they put it right on the deal.
So I think that's even worse because the guest doesn't have to do that. They can just come in and get a 2-day pass, but the owner's got to call ahead and say, I'm coming.
If they want a physical barcode.
Yeah, they don't have to
Barcode. She doesn't want to go out. She just wants.
be able to come and go, right?
Because it should be tied to a homeowner, not necessarily their car, unless they're living there and they have a barcode that allows you to have it to your trade cars.
Mulligan has his hand up.
What do you think, John?
Go ahead, John.
Okay, 2 things. One is I do the exact same thing she does. I get a pass every time I come in. I'll be coming down to check on the place in a couple weeks and I will be getting a pass. Okay. And as far as can she get a 2-day pass, Marcus, he's on?
Yes.
Yeah, so then she's getting everything that the renters are getting or other people are getting. So that should make her happy because she was complaining that she's being treated worse than the guest star. So
That's
if
because
she
they
wants,
give
if
her
the
a
2-day
pass.
pass isn't good enough for her, I'm sorry, I put up the same thing. I get a pass for my car.
Okay, so she wasn't offered a 2-day pass. She was not given a pass. And she was told by apparently somebody at the gate that her registered guest could have a pass for a week. So we better
We're
check
finding
that.
out that's not true here. So
And secondly, you don't come back and forth as many times as an owner would, who works at home for a week or 2 and then comes down.
John comes down a lot. to
I
play
come,
Here next week.
yeah, I'll be here a week. I'll come in October. I'll come in November. Yeah. So maybe
Okay,
not as
so-
much as her, but I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, why don't you think about it? You want it on the agenda for next meeting and you want to make a motion?
Give her a 2-day pass.
Wait a minute.
We'll give her a 2-day pass. Does that solve it?
I don't have an issue with that.
Ken has his
Did you?
Ken? Ken, are you there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I rented a car the last week I was here. And I came through the gate the first time. They gave me a pass for 7 days. And I just showed the picture when I came in. So I don't understand why she isn't given that 7-day pass.
He was not.
Well, but okay, renew it every 7 days. What's the difference?
That's
I mean,
what
it had my picture on it. I came in through the gate. I showed the pass to the guard. He left me in. Why, why aren't they giving her a 7-day pass just like a guest?
We'll just check with the guards and make sure they're all trained properly, make
So
sure they
it's only be 2 day passes,
we'll find out.
and Marco look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it, make sure that everybody's on the same.
All right, well, that's something we'd have to bring up at a future meeting.
Okay.
It's up to you guys.
But we can currently enforce what we have on the books and do it correctly.
Yeah.
That would help, that would help. Okay, landscaping, ma'am.
Still having a hard time hearing Linda.
Really?
You got the paper.
Yeah, is that on?
Is that better? Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, the landscape committee has reviewed all areas planted to date and has suggested some refinement. The next phase approved by the board has not yet been planted due to the drought. However, we did continue to meet and have decided on the next phase and are waiting for estimates. These areas include the pool fence line, the planter by the hot tub, additional ground cover near the cabana, the last area on Sterling Oaks Boulevard, the parking lot side, and a redo of the common island in the condo coach home area. In addition, we received the destroyed area. We reviewed the destroyed area. We didn't destroy it. By Court 1. We will be meeting sometime in June to assess the drought damage situation and finalize the estimates for board approval. This is from Linda Moxley, respectfully submitted, Chair.
Thank you. Are you all set? No motions? You're all good?
I'm done.
Thank you, thank you. Pickleball Committee. Mr. Coyle, are you there?
I'm here.
Go ahead.
Pickleball will have their second meeting on June 2nd. The new members have been seated. And once again, Dan Schwartz is head of the committee. And just like reported last month, they are going through their normal preparations for the next season.
You're done?
Yeah, did you hear me?
Yeah, I did. I was waiting for more sentences, that's all. Thank you. Okay, where are we? Old business. We don't have any. New business, media caffeine contract. That's the people we contract with the website, I guess.
Not with the website, with the social media.
With the social media. So I guess our little update on what's going on with that. Are we getting any hits?
So I'm not happy with what they've done. I mean, I think that they've done something. I get the posts on my phone, but two things that they haven't completed that I've asked for. One is that we were certified with a blue check mark from Meta. The second was that when you see the Facebook post come up, you can hit it and it would take you right into the site so that there could be more information available. And that didn't occur either. I think that their ad campaign has been weak. I just don't think that they've really done what we've asked them to do. And I don't have an issue, especially it's summertime now and it's very slow, that we look at canceling that contract and moving forward with something else, somewhere else down the line. And try to get something a little more vibrant. I think that we get, we'll have the Facebook page because it's ours, but we can have an internal systems and to help get that to the membership here and get outside the gates with it. Just
Is it a month-to-month contract or? what?
yes.
So we can get out of it at any
I'll
time.
do a 30 day. Yeah, everything's on a 30 day. So
Any questions for Mark?
I have a
Anyone?
question.
Go ahead, John.
My question is, who does the website information for the tennis committee? I got a very, very nice email today. Who does that?
The tennis pro shop staff.
So, whoever it is, staff or an individual, maybe we should talk to that person about our media presence, because they seem to have very good, very good control of the website, and it's very well done. So maybe Mark, you can commission that person to do it.
I'll talk to them. Yes, that, I agree with you. There's been the communications from the Tennis Pro Shop has greatly improved over time, and it's been more vibrant. And what we're doing now, I tried to, at our last tennis committee meeting was, the discussion was trying to get out the tennis FYI, or the tennis Thursday e-blast, not only going to the tennis membership, but also to the resident homeowners. So that resident homeowners would be aware of such things as the exhibitions or anything else that was going on, or clinics. We have ball machines, you know, that are available, so that the general population of Sterling Oaks that are non-tennis members, but residents here, have more knowledge and possibly, you know, do a little membership marketing through that.
Well, that was all included in today's email. It was very well done. I'm not a tennis member, but all of that information was available to me.
Good.
I agree, John. Very, very well done. Mark, are you recommending that we end the contract with Media Caffeine contract?
Yes, I am.
All right, then I make a motion that we end our contract with Media Caffeine,
ASAP.
ASAP, and we look into doing more of it in-house.
I second that motion.
Second by Ed. Any discussion?
I'd like to just add one thing. The Vineyards does a beautiful job of advertising. You ever pick up a Florida Weekly or any of those things you can pick up free along the way? And those free things go back to homeowners in all our communities here in Florida, in Naples and in Estero and all around. And they're the ones that could say, hey, your daughter's getting married. Here's a place, Sterling Oaks, and have it right in printed form. And I think the Vineyards does a great job. They're always advertising parties, banquet rooms, all this. And I don't know who they have or what they do, but
I'm sure they have.
Probably
some.
It's a pretty massive organization over there with some deep,
No, but I
deep
mean-
pockets.
Sure, it's somebody's job.
But we can help move.
But I
towards
mean,
that stuff.
we
Yeah.
could do our stuff, that stuff, advertise our own stuff.
Mhm.
The Vineyards does an outstanding job on Facebook too. And
Excellent
there's a couple other communities
on Facebook.
on that do their ads on Facebook. They do an amazing job
Yep, they do.
on getting the word out on what they have to offer.
Yep, they do.
All right, so the motion is on Media Caffeine. Is there any other discussion before we take a vote? All in favor of ending that contract, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the next item is furniture at Pickleball Bocce in the courtyard. Mark and I just had a discussion. I asked him to put it on the agenda. Some of that furniture is pretty beat up, and I kind of wanted to discuss maybe getting, did you get prices already, Mark, or not? I wanted to just ask Mark to get some numbers and prices. There's just some pretty old ratty stuff, and maybe we could look at that, and I would ask Mark or Sasan to put together a price for us for next meeting, and we can take a look at it.
Do you have, I don't know if the discussion you've taken place with Mark, are you recommending a certain type of furniture?
I would say like at pickleball, that you would ask the pickleball people, and
You want them to be mixed match, or do you want them all to be the same?
again, I would tend to leave it up to Mark, but I think we have nice furniture at our pool, and we have nice furniture at the same furniture at the tennis courts, and I would hope they would just want that, but I wouldn't want to force it on them. But
we
maybe
could-
Mark can meet with them and
Maybe we
the
get back to
bocce
the-
people and the courtyard. You know, it would be nice if it all was the same furniture, and it seems to be working well, but again, I wouldn't want to force them. Maybe they have something else in mind.
No, I mean, well, for instance, if the Vector chairs that we have for sitting, the dining chairs, the ones that are at the pool and out of the tennis, you know, we can have the same chair, maybe at pickleball, it's blue. You know, or something that's close
Yeah.
to helping out with that. Bocce can have its own thing, so that at least it's the same style, same company, but it has its own place. So So that we know when things get moved around, we can always get them back to where they need to
Red and
be.
green ones at possibly.
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that, but-
So,
So
yeah, we'll look. into
you,
that. You bet.
just make sure you involve them and they have some input and,
Absolutely.
and then we'll talk about it next meeting.
You got it.
Okay, long-term, or no, guardhouse pavers, that's a mark.
No, that's a saison.
Okay, I'm sorry, say so.
Sorry, I'm trying to, you guys, you're much faster in these meetings, so I'm trying to take minutes. It's a lot harder than it used to be. Okay, the guardhouse is in need of some paver replacement. There's some 2x4s that are holding the steps on where the guards step down, and now that we're in the off season, it's kind of the time to do so. So these quotes in the attachment in your packet. The quotes include the pavers all in the green circled area. So it's the guardhouse step up and the pavers that you drive over immediately by the guardhouse. It does not include all of the pavers that are closer to US 41 on the roadway. We've received 2 quotes, one from GG, one from Accurate. And if you would like to move forward with this proposal, we would like to request to approve the estimate provided by Accurate Pavers in the amount of $41,970.82 to replace the pavers around the gatehouse. This is a part of your reserves.
Discussion, Lucy, go ahead, please.
2 questions. One is, have we used either one of these companies before?
Yeah, we've used GG mostly all around the pool, pickleball, and bocce. Accurate Pavers, we used to use.
We used
I
them
think
down
they
at
did
this
the
end.
original pool expansion. I think they did the original bocce courts.
And they also did some of the road.
And they do, I know Accurate
pathways.
Pavers is very popular with homeowners driveways too.
Okay, and my second question, thank you, is why such a big variance? Is there something one's doing, the other one isn't?
I've asked them to double check their numbers and they both believe that they have everything in that green circle, so. I don't know why such a big variance. Maybe Accurate Pavers gets a much better deal. I'm not sure.
So does this include like getting rid of the old and bringing in the new?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, discussion?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I was over there and took a look at the pavers. I did not look at the pavers where the guardhouse, where the members stepped down on the ground and stuff. To me, the pavers, they look fine. Granted, there's an oil spot where the cars come in to stop to give their ID and stuff like that. And again, I apologize, I didn't notice the area where the guards stepped down onto the pavers. But other than, I didn't see anything that drew my attention that these pavers needed replacement.
I'd have to say that the pavers that are on the roadway, of course, are 30 years old and are stained and whatnot. But as soon as you get to the gatehouse, they look like bricks, sort of brick looking pavers. Those around the entire gatehouse are all coming up. And in front of the door, that's where it's all fallen apart. We've tried to repair it 3 or 4 times. We finally sunk a 2x6 in there with Tabcons into the concrete. But that's because cars come up and hit it consistently. So we're gonna do a poured concrete curb with
No. They're not doing a poured concrete curb.
they're gonna go just with the pavers back on, which may down the road. We'd have to do something in order to keep them from getting knocked off again, but all around the edge of the gatehouse is definitely needs to be replaced at some point in time.
Can I ask another question, please?
Sure.
As you drive onto the property and you get off of those pavers, there's some light colored pavers.
Those would all be replaced with the
They would
same
be, they
color.
would go to.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I would
can't-
tell you
can't
from an
replace
archi-
the old ones, like the ones
I
that are out
understand.
here. Yeah, they're just don't make.
from an architectural standard side of it, these pavers are definitely in violation. I always try to make sure that the common grounds are held to the same standards that you guys have to at your single family homes. So this would certainly be a violation issued by the architectural standards to fix those pavers or replace them.
Until we get that violation, you or Mark.
You as president.
Any other discussion? So we have a
You have,
motion?
somebody has to make it. I can't.
Someone make a motion?
I will. Motion to approve the, quote by Accurate Pavers of $41,970.82.
Second,
I'll second.
Lucy, Any more
Yeah.
discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Carry.
You didn't raise your hand. What do we
Hey,
do?
Steve, before we move on, I had a question.
All right.
It's not specifically about the pavers, but Mark brought something to mind. Mark, when people destroy property or they crash through our tennis courts, or they drive through the arms at our gates, or they do any other kind of damage to the property, are those residents held responsible for those damages?
They're held responsible as long as we know that it was, fairly intentional. So, the gate arms normally are knocked off, but they are breakaway. So, they have nylon nuts and they're designed to
Be
take
replaced.
and be replaced. So, but any intentional damage, where they try to force their way in, and I think we'll go after them if we can by use of the cameras, and then we try to get our money. Yes.
Okay,
So,
thank
yeah.
you.
Court one was paid for by that gentleman's insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Did you hear that, John?
Whose insurance?
Yeah.
Car insurance.
Yeah. His State Farm paid,
Okay.
no questions asked.
Good advertisement for State Farm.
Yeah.
All right, where are we? Vote? All in favor? Do we
You
do
already,
it?
you already did.
We're
You're
good.
done.
Okay, long-term building project. I just wanted to say that somewhere down the road, we're gonna look at doing a long-term building project and getting an architect in here and addressing some of our concerns like our gym and our card room and maybe our kitchen and some of those things that have been kicking around. And as always, we will come up with a project and the community will have to vote on it. But it's not in our near future. We're kind of busy doing other things like hiring general managers, which is the next item. But I just wanted to tell you, it's on the burner. It's just not on the front burner right now. But a long-term building project is something we're gonna bring forward at some time. Okay, Oaks Tennis membership. Ed,
Okay, first of all, I want to apologize that when I got the agenda and I saw the committee reports, I didn't bring it to your attention that I did want to bring up the committee report that tennis has, and if I could do that first.
sure.
Okay. Let's see, the tennis committee. We came up with our total numbers now. We're at 416 total members, 99 Sterling Oaks members, 4 Oaks members, 317 non-resident tennis members. As Mark was saying about Court 1, the repairs actually started today. They repaired the fence today, and I saw it looks like they pulled the post, the one net post up too. So that work has started. Mark also has made arrangements for a consulting firm from Hartrue to come in and do a re-evaluation of all the tennis courts in the community. And let them tell us what courts need attention and what attention they need. We just recently got a bid for $50,000 to have 4 courts redone. And we really don't even know if we need to have that work done. A year ago, we spent $170,000 to get 2 courts completely redone. And if we had had this report done a year ago, we may have saved ourselves some money. I don't know for sure, but we very well may have. So I think the re-inspection of these courts are very important, and we should be taking their advice on what we need to do to get them up to the standard that we want the courts to be in. We do have a new tennis pro for the summer. His name is Stelios, and I can't even pronounce his. He's great. He's got a great personality. Just seems like a great young guy. He did a tennis exhibition on May 14th. And with a 2-day notice, we had over 40 people show up for an exhibition. And this was in the middle of a weekday. So it was amazing that we were able to get that kind of involvement with people. And they served snacks and refreshments, and everybody really really, I believe, had a great time doing that. We now have 2 tennis ball machines that are free to use for tennis members. If you're not a tennis member, you, obviously you have to pay to use that, but, just to update you on the ball machines that we have. We're looking at, in the future, of reinstating, racket demo days to get Pro-Am involved, and Stelios would be able to get involved in that too, where they bring out all these rackets, they bring out 50, 60, 70 rackets and have a fun morning of it where they allow people to use every brand of racket that they have to offer, and people have fun. You know, they checking out rackets, and we've got people around here that are currently using demos from Pro-Am Tennis, and that's how we figure out what works for us as far as what we feel best with rackets and stuff. And then our next scheduled tennis meeting is June 18th at 1 p.m. And now if I can get to the motion about the.
Ed, can I just make one comment?
Yes, please.
So just so everybody knows, that Stelios is a W-9 contracted individual. He's not on the payroll for the club. So we haven't hired him. We've asked him to be our summertime pro to come in here and give some lessons and give some clinics, but he is strictly a contracted vendor for us, so that there's a lot of people saying, oh, you've hired somebody new. Not really. What we've done is just fill the void so that the tennis membership, which is paying for a pro to be able to give lessons and have clinics, we have that available for them at this time.
Okay, Ed.
Thank you. And now to move on with the proposal, the motion for the Oaks membership. The tennis committee has asked me to present a motion to allow Sterling Oaks homeowners free access to the tennis courts when courts are typically not in use. Paying tennis members in league matches always have priority. This motion is a trial basis to start upon approval by the board through October 31st of 2025. This motion is intended strictly for homeowners and does not include renters or their guests. That's okay. Some homeowners have complained about living in a tennis community, but not being allowed to play without paying a court fee. Homeowners have contributed financially in the past, and the courts are on the community's property. Although tennis is financially successful today, it hasn't always been. This motion hopes to gain acceptance in the community of the tennis program. Currently, courts are groomed Monday through Friday mornings and sometimes Friday afternoon for the weekend. This proposal changes nothing. Court usage can be monitored through the Chelsea reservation system. Night usage can occur by reserving courts through Chelsea and gain access to lighting after the reservation has been made. Court usage after normal pro shop hours can be monitored just as they are now. The success of this proposal can be measured by feedback from homeowners, tennis members, and community members. The tennis committee will work with the pro shop to determine if additional controls need to be taken to ensure that the players are following the rules of play. If the board wants to limit the courts allowed to be used, the tennis committee suggests court 2, 3, 6, and 7. And now the actual motion. The Oaks membership allows use of tennis courts only between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. on weekdays and 12 noon and 9 p.m. on weekends. Homeowners must register with the pro shop by filling out a tennis membership application and waiver form. Once approved, the homeowner will have access to the Chelsea reservation system. This offer is strictly for homeowners and is non-transferable. Homeowners must use the Chelsea reservation system to reserve courts up to 1 day prior to playing. Players must follow all the Sterling Oaks rules and regulations related to tennis, including proper footwear. So that's the motion I put in front of. the board.
Second, and then discussion. Second? John Mulligan seconds it. Discussion or comments?
I have a
Go
couple
ahead, John.
points. One, I think this is a very good idea. And as far as the previous speaker talking about dollars and all that, as Ed mentioned, we have 4 Oaks members now, which comes to approximately $6,000 of revenue we'd be losing, which is $8 per door or 68 cents per month per person.
Excuse me, an Oaks membership for a homeowner is only around $500.
Right, but you got a family one, I'm saying it's around approximately $6,000 of revenue that we'd be losing.
I think you're high, but go ahead, go ahead.
No, well, you look at the
I'm
numbers,
sorry.
but anyway, so I mean, it's minimal. And as far as expenses on the court that the previous pro came up with was ridiculous. And as the previous speaker also mentioned, very few people will take advantage of this. If that's really the case, then there will be no extra maintenance. I actually think some people might, but I don't think it'll be extravagant. But if it was a lot, that means it's a good thing and the community really wants it. So I'm in favor of it.
Anyone else, any other comments? I have a question for Mark. Mark, does the tennis staff feel that they can logistically carry this out? Have you spoken to them about that?
Yes, they feel that they can do what's necessary to take care of that. Now, as it moves into closer to season, and I don't think we're gonna worry about it now.
Right.
And you know, if there's a couple of crazies out there that want to play at 3 o'clock, you know, bless them. But you know, once we move into end of September and people start coming back into town, we'll have to assess it at that point in time, just making sure. But we do have staff in the pro shop that's ready, willing, and able to achieve the goals if that's you know,
One
we
other
need-
thing too, question is, for
schedule.
this Chelsea, we don't have to put all 736 people in there at once, correct? We do it as somebody wants to reserve the court.
Yes, they'd sign up and then they'd be put in there
Okay.
at that time, yes.
So
Just
that was
Chelsea.
another
Access level.
thing that they said that it's gonna be too much work and all this sort of stuff, but it'll be as needed, not all 736.
Well, that was my basis of my question, John.
Yeah, oh, I understand.
Had the tennis office been involved in this? And the answer is yes. The second thing is at that end of that date, when that time comes, or was it October 31st?
Correct.
Then we would evaluate it. If there was a cost, how many people used it? Was it worthwhile? Do we need to adjust it? Do we need to end it? Do we need to accelerate it? Whatever that happens at that time, we'll evaluate. And like Mark said, that's well before season. Lydia,
Is there an age limit?
I believe according to whatever the rules and regulations state, I think, what is it? Any child,
I think it's 14.
14.
is it 14 or?
I
I
believe
think it's 14 or 16.
I thought 14.
Okay.
was about.
Yeah.
Without
So-
adult supervision.
13-year-olds out whacking the ball.
If the people have a family membership, yeah.
What do you mean if they have a family? They wouldn't have any membership.
No, you have to be a member. You have to go register for the Oaks membership
Right.
and sign the waiver
Their
to,
kids then
to
have
be
to sign the
considered.
waiver
the families would have to sign that waiver.
and then the kids could go play.
Yes,
14.
I'm assuming that's the way it would work.
So we have people who don't play in the morning. They don't like the sun. And I think it's 2 courts of women. They would prefer to play the way you're saying. Would they keep their memberships? They don't play in the morning.
Well, if you say they don't play in the morning, then I assume they have Oaks memberships?
No, they have full memberships
Why would they have full memberships if they don't play in the morning?
because they play in the afternoon when it's cooler.
Well, but that's what the Oaks membership is.
They don't have Oaks membership.
Okay. Well, I guess whatever they choose to do, yes.
Okay, so if
Yes.
you lost 8 members, that wouldn't hurt too much.
Well, that's what we'll evaluate at the end.
Okay.
That's what we'll evaluate.
So,
These
Go
people
ahead,
that
Mark.
have an Oaks membership currently, are we refunding them for the summer?
According to the rules and regulations, there are no refunds.
No, I would say no to that.
so I've got a group of kids right now that are utilizing the amenities different times of the day. What I want to make sure of is if the kid walks into the pro shop and says, hey, I hear I can go play tennis for nothing in the afternoon, sign me up. We need to make sure that the parents are aware and that parents have to be responsible, and they have to be the ones that are on that
Reservation.
that reservation. Yeah, the kid cannot do it on their own. That's
It
correct.
requires a reservation on Chelsea to,
But also it needs a waiver. If the
Yes.
kid gets hurt.
Yes, so we just need to make sure that that's all a big, I just don't want the kids, because I know who.
You know.
I know who these kids are, and the kids like to be able to, yeah, they're the ones that we have to deal with.
Ride the
They're,
roller
they're
blades
not,
up.
they're not allowed to just jump onto the courts and go by signing up and signing the waiver. The parents have to be a part of the process. As long as that's fine, then that's good with me.
Okay, John,
So the last statement, so I'm just questioning, is this different than our existing policy? The last statement says players must follow all of the Sterling Oaks rules and regulations. Before that, it says they must reserve the court up to 1 day. Well, any of our members can call up the tennis office and say, hey, it looks like court 11 is open at 3 o'clock. Can I get it?
But
yeah,
homeowners have
but
the ability to.
if you're an
sign up
Oaks
early.
member, you can make that reservation several days in advance.
But you could.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I looked in, I'm a new homeowner.
Yeah.
I'm an Oaks member.
Yeah.
Have access to Chelsea.
Yeah.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it's noon. They can't reserve a court because Chelsea doesn't let us
You're right.
reserve a court.
Yeah.
But I can call up the tennis office and have them book that court for me in my name. But this says they have to do a day ahead.
No,
So
the
that's
intent,
different than any
excuse
other
me,
tennis.
excuse me, the intent is to not allow this Oaks member to reserve the court more than 1 day in advance. So what you're saying is that if they wanted to reserve the court at noon today to play at 3 today, Chelsea doesn't allow them into the system to do that.
Right.
They would be able to contact and leave a voicemail with the pro shop saying, I want to reserve a court on Chelsea for 3 o'clock. They would get that confirmation the next day in a voicemail. So,
But they have to do that a day ahead.
no, they have to, no. That wasn't the intent
Okay.
of what was written.
Well, but that's what's written here.
Okay, well then it's the writing, I
I
can
think we should
change that.
clarify
I
that
will
writing. a
clarify
little
that, yes, yes. That they can only reserve the court up to 1 day prior to playing.
bit.
Not 2 days, up to 1 day.
Who can?
The people that want to reserve the courts. Where today an Oaks member can reserve a court 5 or 6 days in advance.
Right, so you're not gonna change it for the Oaks Fund.
Well, it would change for all Oaks members, yes, that they would not be allowed to reserve a court until 1 day prior to the day they want to play.
Or you're not changing it. I think what Lindy is trying to say is you're not gonna change it for the paying Oaks members that we currently
No,
have.
if they're paying, no.
Yeah, I don't
rules-
think you should
I
be
apologize.
calling the owners, the residents, the community. I don't think you should be calling them Oaks members.
Yeah,
It's
that's-
very confusing.
yeah, it's probably. good.
Yeah.
If we wanna
But they
change
still
what
have
the
the
name
same
of that
rules
is,
as the Oaks members, but they're not technically an Oak
Right,
membership.
No.
right.
So I think that
Come up
if
with
this
another
is
name.
passed,
Yeah.
that like Chelsea's, Mark says that Chelsea has a different access level,
okay,
that we should name it something different, like a homeowner membership or something.
Exactly.
I
So
think
if
that's
you
a good
guys
idea.
turn these people off at November 1st, that they can turn their access off.
Homeowner
Come up with something.
membership.
We'll work on it.
We'll work.
Jim, I had offered up something before I left the tennis committee.
What's that?
I remember I offered up a different name before I left the tennis committee in our last meeting.
John. Rick, go ahead.
Johnny, come
What
over.
stops somebody from walking on after the later day parts where there's no one
They,
in the office?
they do anyways.
Do anyway?
So nothing changes.
Figure it out.
Yeah,
Well, we
We-
catch a lot of those people.
we-
I mean,
we-
George
yeah.
and them sit there on the cameras every day as part of their
Yeah.
job and try to track down who those people are.
Because there's
Uh,
guest members and this and that, so we,
Yeah.
yeah, they go back over it.
When Paul was here, he would walk the courts in the afternoon, and if he saw that there were people that weren't members on the court, they would get charged guest fees. So,
Can I do that?
yeah,
It happens.
I would,
I'm going to.
if I'm around, I'd be willing to do it too.
I have no secret, I was against this for a while, and my biggest issue has always been profitability. I'm not quite so concerned about the 4 members. I am really concerned if and when we need more staff. I think immediately, if we have to hire someone, if this thing is going sideways, we have to hire someone, I would end it right away. I mean, I'm believing what you're saying, that this current staff can handle it.
I'm not a part of that conversation, so.
I'd say that for the summer months when everything's
I'm not,
slow.
the summer,
As
I'm
we,
not sure,
I think you're gonna have to
Yeah.
evaluate.
I'm not sure it's a valid test of the summer because no one's gonna.
And that's why we're gonna look at it on the 31st, and
Okay.
we may have to limit it. Limit it.
expires on October 31st.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's when we're gonna evaluate it financially, just, you know,
Take a look at it and decide, do we wanna move this?
is it
forward?
working out, you know what I mean, schedule wise, are we losing members? So we'll evaluate it at that point. Any other discussion?
I think John Coyle had a question.
John?
No, no, it was
Okay.
answered. It was answered.
She has her hands up.
Lucy, did you have your hand up?
More a comment than anything. I don't know that the success measures are strong enough. Just asking people how they feel and what their temperature is. I think it needs to be a little bit more than that. I think you've said some words there in terms of how many members, what's the profitability, what's the impact on staff. Those things need to be more clear and crisp in this proposal. And the second thing is I would appreciate a monthly update over the course of the summer on what's going well and what's not. We're talking about success only, but what does fail look like as well? You know, what are some of the issues? Because as much as you may not see a lot of people coming, this is a good time to see what's not working or needs to be polished a bit before we have more members using this new membership or whatever. So those are my 2 comments. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that the monthly updates is a good idea. I think that's a really good point. Any other discussion? Rick?
Very clear, no renters, no guests, period.
Correct.
Just
No
all-
renters, no guests. Correct. Anyone else? Okay, we're gonna vote. All in favor, say aye. Raise your hands.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
I only did not see what Lucy.
Lucy,
voted.
did you vote?
Yes,
In favor or opposed?
in favor.
Okay, motion carried. General manager search update. I just wanted to say that we are still in the first round of interviews. They're going very well. We have a committee that's doing a great job. The last interview for the first round is tomorrow, and it looks like second interviews are gonna be June 6th and 9th. And as I said, every board member is welcome to join us for that round. I know it's summer, but if you're all welcome, and I'd love your input. And that, again, June 6th and 9th, but I'm updating you guys on email, and I'll keep doing that. General manager transition contract is in your packet, and I would like to make a motion that we approve the general manager transition contract that was included in your packet.
Or sent to you just,
Or, oh, no, sent to you outside of the packet, yeah. It was sent to you in a separate email.
I'll
Second.
second. I'll
Lucy,
second.
second. I really don't wanna have any discussion. It's a personnel item, so we're gonna go right to a vote. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. Executive session, I don't think, John, go ahead.
I have the
You wanted,
activities committee that I,
Under new
Get on the
business, we'd
agenda.
like to have a little bit of,
new business.
Sure,
he knows that you can't make any action.
okay, we can't vote on it.
No vote.
Okay,
So
can you do it in 3 minutes or less?
Yes.
Okay,
I just want to provide a quick summary of the Sterling Oaks Activities Committee headed by Debbie Panisi. They met on May 15th. some of the summary of the highlighted items, they reviewed the mission statement and some committee set up for the 2025-26 season. They set calendar dates for the following events. The Getting Reacquainted event will be held on January 7th, 26th, with a 2-hour duration. The Legacy event is scheduled to be held March 31st, 26th. As John mentioned earlier, John Mulligan, our treasurer, requested the committee identify events that are scheduled this past season which were not profitable and to exclude them from the next season's schedule. They're working with our food and beverage director and has discussed the types of questions which we could be used in an owner survey to assist them in this endeavor. They prepared a draft survey of about 21 questions, which I mailed out to all the board members last night. So I'd like to have that put on the agenda for the next meeting and have discussion about that and take a vote.
And in the meantime, maybe get us some background on how you're gonna carry out the survey and who it's gonna go to and how you're gonna calculate the data.
Yeah.
All that, all the details.
It's all analytical data, be very easy to get the tab for.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Thanks.
That's it.
Steve,
Question, John?
Go ahead, John.
I just want to clarify something that John just said. I'm not trying to get rid of all the activities that were unprofitable, because a lot of them are. We just want the activities committee to look at, are we oversaturated? Are we doing too much in a short time? Because a lot of the activities we don't make money on or lose a little bit, but if it's well attended, what I don't want is things that lose a lot of money or that aren't attended hardly at all. So I'm not trying to get rid of everything that doesn't make money, because we wouldn't have hardly anything at all.
Good point. Perhaps I phrased that poorly.
Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. Thank you.
We're looking at some of the things like, is the problem we have back-to-back events where maybe attendance at one took away attendance from another in situations like that.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Okay, next board meeting is June 26th at 1 o'clock. Anyone else for the good of the order before we adjourn? Mark?
Just a point of order that if you're going to have the board members present at a,
If more than 5 show up, we gotta.
you just
we
have
gotta-
to
we gotta
announce
post it.
and have us just post something that there's going to be a
Yeah.
meeting of the board to
Yeah.
deal with that, and that has to be posted 48 hours in advance. So if it's 6 through 9, just make sure that somewhere around the 6th or 7th or 8th or whenever it's gonna be a couple days in advance, you let CC.
48 hours before,
You can
right?
just let,
Okay,
yeah, all you have to do is post it so that we're in.
Or just split in between two groups.
we could put one on one side of the
You-
wall,
you
one on
could-
the other
you
side
could
of the
do-
wall.
Or just did two separate.
Two separate meetings with.
Oh, we'll post it. I kind of thought about that already because people are saying they're gonna be able to come.
Okay.
So that'll be good. All right, a motion to adjourn, please. Go move. Rick.
Holy, 2
Oh,
hours and 11
That's not
minutes.
I'll second.
Ed seconds it, all in favor? Aye,
Aye.
unanimous. Thank you.
Oh, what am I gonna do with my afternoon?
Sure you want to
That's off my calendar.